Today, we have a representative from Russia. We have Vice-Rector Sergey Andryushin, the Vice-Rector from the St. Petersburg State University in Russia. And we'd like to welcome Vice-Rector to the program. Thank you very much for being with us on the program today. We are very fortunate that you have spent time visiting us. You have traveled from St. Petersburg to visit us and to sign a memorandum of understanding, and also have a representative office of the St. Petersburg State University at Walailak University, and hopefully we can develop our relationship for the long term. First of all, Vice-Rector, I would like to ask you to tell us a little bit about your university, very briefly about your university generally.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you and the entire academic community of Walailak University for hosting us here at the campus and for this great inauguration ceremony of the representative office of St. Petersburg State University at Walailak University. St. Petersburg State University was founded almost 300 years ago in 1724. So next year we will celebrate 300 years anniversary. It's quite a long history which demonstrates the strength of our university as the leading university of Russia. We have 24 faculties and institutes. As a comprehensive university, we are trying to use this all huge academic potential in order to achieve the excellent results in research and science. For these 300 years, we have 9 Nobel Prize laureates in different fields of knowledge. And the recent one, Alexei Yakimov, was awarded just this year in the field of chemistry. The university also publishes around 18,000 of scientific publications annually in world journals in Q1 and Q2. It's one of the most internationalized universities, not only in Russia, but also around the globe. We have more than 600 partners in more than 100 countries of the world. We have 5,000 of international students, and we are quite happy that many of them are Thai students. For the 6 consecutive years, St. Petersburg University is the most popular university among international students in Russia. So 21 applications for one place are submitted every year to St. Petersburg University from around the globe. Of course, we are also a cultural university. Some of the deans of the faculty, the well-known conductors or the heads of museums, leading museums of Russia, so they invest lots of their energy in developing of the university and new generations of prominent people, prominent professors. We participate in almost all global forums, educational forums, but not only educational, also economic, that take place not only in Russia, but also around the globe. We have now 3 campuses created abroad in China, in Egypt, and in Uzbekistan. So we are trying to diversify our international affairs, trying to be represented around the globe in many, many countries. So this is how we're trying to internationalize ourselves, inviting students, inviting professors, and of course, organizing exchange programs with different universities, and not only with universities. For example, St. Petersburg State University has more than 1,500 agreements with employees, the companies, that help us to develop our educational program to make it more moderate, to make it more competitive, and they give us advices how to teach and what to teach and how to educate students, and so they could be more prepared for their future work in the companies. It's just a few brief presentation, I would say, about St. Petersburg State University, which is quite big. So and we would need much more time to go into details. Of course, we have lots of leading labs that are headed by prominent professors, mathematicians, biologists, physicists, chemists. So it's quite a big environment, I would say. Not only scientific and educational, but also cultural. We are trying to fuse different cultures in the campus and to create a friendly atmosphere for all students, Russian and international.
Obviously, the fact that the SPbU, the St. Petersburg State University, has produced extraordinary number of Nobel Prize winners, meaning that there has been a very strong focus on basic research. And this year, of course, you have a Nobel Prize winner in the area of chemistry. So can we say that the greatest strength of your university is basic science research? Yes,
that's true. I would say Russia in general has always been very strong in basic research. And of course, St. Petersburg University is the first university of Russia, one of the leading universities now, not only in our country, but around the globe, has always also been very strong in basic research in mathematics, physics, chemistry. And you can see that many of prominent professors that work in different universities now, they were graduates of St. Petersburg State. But basic research, of course, is not only the field where we're working. Of course, we have applied research as well. We are working with leading companies, for example, with Huawei, and we are trying to help them to produce and to invent new materials, new approaches, new models for creating new devices. But it's not only where we work together with companies, also Gazprom, which is the huge gas producer of Russia, Rosneft, some telecommunication companies. So they are all represented at the university, and we are doing research for them as well, applied research. Right. So now it's a fusion. Right, so there's a great deal of commercialization of basic research, in other words, because all of this development, Huawei, all of these companies, major companies, without basic research, it's very difficult for them to advance further. So obviously, there's been a great deal of commercialization of basic research. Do you have problems recruiting top scientists to work with universities? Actually, no, because we create and for them the very comfortable environment to work. And I would say more. Many of our prominent researchers, they left the country after the collapse of the Soviet Union in the 1990s. But now we can see the flow back of these researchers. They're returning to the university, they're heading the labs, and they continue to work with their alma mater. So we do not have the problem to attract leading researchers. They're coming to the university. University is opened from around the globe, from Europe, United States, China, Japan, Thailand, and many other regions of the world. And then you mentioned the research collaboration. That's very impressive, the fact that you have developed relationship with so many countries and have had collaborations with the international researchers and all of that. Can you elaborate further on that, please? Yes, sure. We, as I mentioned before, we have now more than 600 agreements with foreign universities around the globe, and this cooperation is very comprehensive, I would say. It's not only exchange of students or professors. For example, we create joint seed money funds, and we're trying to support the joint applications of researchers from our university and partner university. If they have some ideas, they can get financial support, not only financial, infrastructural as well, from both universities or even free universities. Of course, we establish and develop joint master degree programs, double degree programs, with our foreign partners. We are trying to organize cultural events together with our partners around the globe, the conferences, the forums, symposium, workshops, even, as I mentioned, the cultural events, musical events, theater, etc. So it's quite a big environment, very comprehensive environment that we have in our international collaboration. As I mentioned, also we're creating the joint campuses, for example, as the highest level of cooperation with our partners. And sometimes it's not only, we're doing not only with the partner university abroad, with the company that can invest funds in building, constructing the campus for the university, where we can develop our educational programs for students in the country where it is represented, like in Egypt, for example, in Cairo. So, as I mentioned, it's quite...
So you have international campuses in Cairo, in China, and then in... Uzbekistan. How big are they, those campuses?
In China, in terms of students, now we have 300 students studying for undergraduate programs in the field of mathematics, physics, and chemistry. And in the nearest future, the number of students will be rising. So it will be like 1,500 students, even maybe 2,000 in the campus. And now this campus is under construction. So some buildings are already done, they are constructed, and the students can do their studies there. But finally, we will have many more. In Cairo, we have quite a big 7-level building, which can accommodate 5,000 of students. Now we're just launching the admission. It's the first year. So the first 300 students will be studying. And year by year, we will increase it up to 5,000 of students in Cairo. In Uzbekistan, we have a smaller campus where just around 100 of people are studying. We are going to increase this number up to 500 or 700 of students. And it's not only also about education. Of course, we are trying to do research in the place, in these countries together with partner universities. So we're trying to, to attract the partners in the regions where we work, not only universities, companies, non-governmental organizations that can be in help to develop the university, the research and education.
So when you are in those countries, like in Uzbekistan, of course, obviously, they must be proficient in Russian, but in other countries, in Egypt and in China, do you teach those students in Russia?
You're absolutely right. In China and in Egypt, we will deliver our programs in English.
Oh.
We will teach in English, but also Russian language is a big part of the educational process. So all students, they need to take the Russian language courses, but they are absolutely free to study in English.
And very interesting, I've discovered that St. Petersburg State University has a Bachelor of Thai and Myanmar history. What was behind it? Why the interest in Thai and Myanmar history?
I would say that our Faculty of Asian and African Studies has quite a long history. It was created more than 150 years ago, when it was Russian Empire and the university was Imperial, St. Petersburg Imperial University. And those times in 19th century, Russian Empire had very fruitful cooperation with Siam, and these diplomatic relations, they required professionals who can speak in the language of the country.
Siam, the former name of Thailand.
Yeah. And they need to speak your language and to know your culture. That is why the Department of Thai language, Thai culture, and the history of Myanmar and Thailand was established in St. Petersburg State University, and we started investigating the history of your country, the language, and our professors went to Siam, went to Myanmar, went to the region in order to get familiar with your culture, with your history, with your political system, This helped us to build stronger and very fruitful relationships between our country, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you are here at Walailak University talking to administrators, signing MOU, and you have given a lecture to students today. And obviously you have extensive experience collaborating with many countries, many people in the world. What do you see, or how would you think the relationship between your university and Walailak University would grow? In what direction and what specific area that you think we should develop more concretely?
Yeah, during our meetings with your president, with you, with your colleagues, with students, I told that we have lots in common between our universities. Despite the fact that our university is much more older, we can see that Walailak University is very, very dynamic, and we see that it's very strong in many fields of knowledge, of many fields of research, applied research, basic research, where we can cooperate, and our professors would be quite interested in investigating all these opportunities. So we believe that our cooperation will start with student and staff, academic staff exchanges, administrative staff exchanges, and finally will come to very comprehensive environment of our international cooperation with Walailak University, using this format of representative office and attracting more and more people from our university to work with Walailak University. So I believe that we will have many research projects. We will have joint degree programs with Walailak University because, as I mentioned, we have many in common, both in administrative, I would say, construction of our universities, but also in the understanding where we're going and what are the priorities for our development.
Right, because I mean, St. Petersburg State University is very comprehensive, as you say, focusing not only on science but also on arts and culture, language, and other type of courses. So it's very comprehensive. So for us to develop cooperation, it would not be very difficult because many more people can actually join if they wish. STEM, of course, Walailak University's strength is in the science, medical science, and engineering, and other basic science like physics and biology. And this country is working very hard over the years to strengthen the STEM program. The science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the STEM. Russia is one of the best countries when it comes to the strength in STEM. For that area, specifically STEM area, I'm thinking, in what way we can make use of, as you mentioned, maybe we can invite Russian lecturers to come here, organize workshops, maybe help supervise postgraduate students, having joint conferences and things like that. So those sort of area, you think it's an area that we should focus on?
Yeah, sure, because it's required by the economics. It is required by the community, by people. So that is why it's one of the priorities in Walailak and also the priority at St. Petersburg State University. And we have quite a big and very fruitful experience in working in STEM and developing the different research projects, educational programs. I would say we have quite a tight fusion between science and education. So the prominent professor, they lecture for students, they accept students, postdocs in their labs and helping them to understand how research is done, actually. And I believe that you do the same in Walailak University. And this is where we can exchange our experience, our views, our vision, how to do it and how to develop it together between St. Petersburg State University and Walailak university, because as I mentioned, it's very demanded now in the world, and we need to follow this track in order to fulfill the expectations of the community and society.
And I hope that we can get people to be interested in Russian language, particularly among students and staff. But of course, that should not be a barrier because professors at University, St. Petersburg University, also use English extensively, so that should not be a barrier. But at the same time, of course, if people pick up Russian, it will be of great advantage for them. So is that the case that English is used extensively as well?
Yeah, sure. English is used extensively. Our researchers, they publish their articles in English in international journals. They participate in national conferences, and as well as students. As I mentioned, there is quite a strong ties between science and education. Sometimes students, they participate in international scientific conferences, and in order to be graduated from the university, you need to have a level of English no lower than B2. Right. And as for the Russian language that you mentioned, as we agreed on our meetings with the president, with you, it would be quite a good idea to establish the Center of Russian Language here at Walailak University, so the students could have an opportunity to study Russian language, Russian culture, and as we discussed with you before, it facilitates the communication between people. That is why it's very important to include the cultural component inside of our cooperation. We have the Department of Thai History, Culture, Language, and even Thai Cabinet, the auditorium, which is made in the Thai style. So, and when we do it, we are helping people to better understand each other, and the younger generations. For the younger generations, it's very important in the future to build this very friendly relationship between the countries.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the existence of St. Petersburg State University. I mean, it's 300 years old. You are celebrating the 300th year anniversary next year, which means it has been, Russia has gone through so many stages, revolution and communism and then perestroika, glasnost, and now in the current situation. So, but St. Petersburg exists all throughout. So its contribution must have been enormous. Its prestige and contribution to aspects of Russian life must have been enormous, and that's interesting. That's alone is very interesting. No government in Russia, in whatever form, would be thinking about eliminating, St. Petersburg University. They're always there. Quite interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The university is a column, I would say, one of the columns of the state, and I would say more. 2 presidents of the Russian Federation are graduates of St. Petersburg State University. Vladimir Putin, Dmitry Medvedev, and also we have 6 prime ministers in the whole history, starting from Russian Empire until the current times, who are the graduates of St. Petersburg State University.
Very
and
impressive.
For example, you mentioned revolution. Vladimir Lenin is a graduate of St. Petersburg State University.
Yeah, he's a great thinker.
Yes. Yeah, and of course, not only politicians, but also prominent conductors, people who worked in the art field, the scientists, conductors, theater makers, and many, many other people from the cultural side. They are graduates of St. Petersburg State University.
I'm pretty sure after talking to you today, Vice-Rector Andryushin, I'm sure that people would become more interested in visiting Russia, St. Petersburg probably in particular, and there are many other places. But is it difficult to travel from Thailand to Russia?
No, not at all. You can travel via Moscow, or you can travel even directly. There are some flights that fly from St. Petersburg to Thailand, different airports. So it's not difficult at all, and we would be happy to.
How long does it take to fly from Bangkok to?
From Bangkok to Moscow, a little bit less than 9 hours.
Very, not very long at all.
No, not long at all. So, for example, I believe your students travel to the United States, for example, or Latin America. So it's much more, far than Russia and St. Petersburg.
It sounds like Russia is our neighbor, actually.
yeah.
We are just very happy and pleased with the fact that you are visiting us. We don't have representatives from Russian universities, as many Russian universities as we would have liked, but maybe you have started something big with us, you yourself being a Vice-Rector, representing the university, visiting us. But I wish you had many more days with us, but even in a few days, I hope you have gathered some information that that get you understand us better, and so we'd like to thank you for visiting us and for appearing on the program. So thank you very much, Vice-Rector Andryushin.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting us to your university, and I was really impressed by Thailand, by your culture, by your university. It's my first time here, and I believe that many times in the future I will come here and we will work together.
Thank you very much. Thank you.